Other names are going to come out. Sean will talk. That's why Jay-Z is running. That's why Jay-Z is nervous. Jaguar is talking about it. So many other artists at the moment.
Jay-Z called me. Hey, God, Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them at my head. Just call me.
You want to know what makes Diddy being publicly shamed like this so left?
What's that?
Word on the street is that amidst all this court drama, Diddy has got a bombshell to drop. Remember a few years back when everyone was gossiping about Jay-Z supposedly having a side chick named Cathy White while he was married to Bey?
Mistress who? Y'all misinformed, got it misconstrued. Be alone.
Yeah, well, here's where it gets juicy. Apparently, news came out that Cathy had kicked the bucket. Crazy, right? That sent the rumor mill into overdrive with all sorts of theories flying around. And now it looks like Diddy jumped into the mix too, ready to spill some tea on the whole situation.
They also seized evidence of the freak-offs. Electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims.
In Diddy's case, U.S. Attorney Damian Williams revealed that the evidence supporting his indictment is hefty, including records from over 300 grand jury subpoenas and other voluntary productions. According to Williams' detention letter, which pushed for Diddy to be kept in jail before trial, there are allegations of victim tampering, suggesting that Diddy tried to cover up his actions by influencing victims who had been subpoenaed by the grand jury.
And they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers. The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up his crimes.
The prosecutors haven't revealed the identities of the witnesses they brought before the grand jury, keeping those details under wraps for now. But what we do know is that investigators have collected a massive amount of evidence, over 90 cell phones, laptops, cloud storage accounts, and at least 30 storage devices. They've issued more than 300 subpoenas to get their hands on communications, records from tech and social media companies, financial institutions, and even Diddy's own businesses. Prosecutors claim they have dozens of videos showing Diddy's infamous freak-offs, multi-day sex parties involving sex workers and individuals he allegedly coerced into participating through drugs and intimidation. According to the grand jury indictment, both Diddy and the alleged victims were given IV fluids to recover from the physical toll and heavy D use during these events.
The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies.
Diddy has pleaded not guilty and is staying behind bars until his federal trial in New York. So what's next for the 54-year-old music mogul? And what about the employees and associates who were allegedly involved in this whole mess? Damian Williams, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, the guy who brought the indictment, was pretty vague when asked if more charges might be coming for Diddy or anyone else. "I can't rule anything out. Anything's possible," Williams said. "The investigation is very active and ongoing, and if you know anything about how this office works, you know developments are definitely on the horizon, but I can't say for sure right now." Apparently, several of Combs' former employees have been chatting with prosecutors, according to someone close to the investigation. Word is, at least one male S-worker is expected to testify soon, and the witnesses' stories go even deeper than what's in this week's indictment. Prosecutors say they've already interviewed over 50 victims and witnesses so far.
A low level would be, let's just say the housekeeper who picked up after one of the sex parties. But a high level enabler would be someone who lured the women to come into the sex parties.
Medrano hinted that Diddy might not have been the only big name involved. It's likely Combs wasn't the only famous face in the room.
I have no doubt that perhaps there are some other high-level celebrities, high-profile individuals who attended these parties, participated in them.
So everyone knew what Diddy's parties were really about, and it definitely didn't make Beyonce or Jay-Z look good. The rumors were flying and people were side-eyeing both of them. The gossip mill went wild, making it sound like Bey was deep in all the drama at one of Diddy's infamous parties. But to be fair, there's another side to the story that kind of shuts down all the buzz. DaBaby's whole testimony about the night. Yeah, turns out it's not holding up because sources say Beyonce had already left the party by the time he even showed up. So that whole mess might just be another case of wild gossip getting out of hand. But Was he really humble throughout his career? Evidence he wasn't that much, which even may have made him involved in a M. It's surprising that there's hardly any information about Jay-Z's alleged mistress, Cathy White, who reportedly died under mysterious circumstances in 2011. However, journalist Liz Crone just set off a social media firestorm by claiming she had a conversation with Cathy before her death. Liz is now dropping hints that Jay-Z's time might be up. Adding fuel to the fire, old blog posts resurfaced with eyewitness accounts claiming they saw Cathy with Jay-Z and Diddy. With all these allegations swirling around Diddy, fans are speculating that Jay-Z could be the next target.
You want to know what makes Diddy being publicly shamed like this so left?
But what's the story about Cathy White? How did she die, and what does Liz Corkin know about Jay-Z? Let's break it down.
She contacted her, allegedly, and we will get into that, when the announcement was made by this publication that was going to out this situation.
All right, so back in early September 2011, there was some buzz in the local news and celeb blogs about this young woman named Cathy Coriana White. Some outlets even went as far as calling her Jay-Z's supposed mistress. But guess what? The big media outlets were too busy fawning over Beyoncé's surprise pregnancy announcement, so Cathy's death kind of flew under the radar for most people. Sneaky, right?
The night's biggest moment, of course, was Beyoncé's pregnancy revelation. First, with some of the press outside the theater before the show.
But hey, if you're up for some detective work, you can still dig up some of those original articles. Like this one we found on Hot 107 titled Jay-Z's Alleged Mistress Dies at 28. It's like a piece of internet history hiding in the depths.
Cathy White was first found out to be allegedly having an affair with Jay-Z when she was spotted at Club Tao in Las Vegas with Claudia Jordan and Diddy.
According to the article, Cathy Coriana White, who is known as a fitness and beauty expert, was discovered dead in her Manhattan apartment on September 2nd. She had graduated from Howard University and had contributed to various online publications. Plus, she was the big boss as the CEO of her own public relations firm called White Label PR.
And this is trending on ET Now. The amateur rapper has been the center of many tabloids, claiming she is to blame for J&B's rumor falling out.
Now, the report said the cause of her death was an aneurysm. That's pretty tragic, especially for someone so young and successful. However, seemingly Cathy had some drama with the blogs the year before her passing. Hollywood Street King, one of the OG celeb gossip bloggers, spilled the tea claiming that she was Jay-Z's side piece. Now, here's where it gets juicy. Rumors started swirling after Cathy and model Claudia Jordan were supposedly seen at a Las Vegas nightclub, chilling at a table with Jay-Z and Diddy or Puff Daddy or whatever he's calling himself these days. Seems like Cathy had her fair share of gossip swirling around her, which can't be easy to deal with. But that's the price of fame sometimes, right? But if you're feeling like doing some sleuthing and you hit up Hollywood Street King's website, you'll stumble upon 3 separate blog posts from 2010. All about Jay-Z's alleged affair with Cathy White. The first 2 posts dropped on August 31st, 2010. One of them was straight up titled, "Busted Jay-Z Caught Cheating on Beyoncé with Cathy White." Woo, talk about throwing shade. And then there's the other one called Jay-Z Photographed with Mistress Cathy White at Tao. Sounds like Hollywood Street Kings was all over this story back in the day. In that first blog post, there's a photo of Cathy posing with 2 of her girlfriends, and the blog claims that Jay-Z had been involved with Cathy even before he tied the knot with Beyoncé in April 2008. Whoa, that's some serious gossip. And get this, the article goes on to say that Cathy is tight with none other than Claudia Jordan, who's been rumored to be a homewrecker. Apparently, Claudia was linked to actor Michael Jai White while he was still married to his wife, Courtney Chapman. Talk about messy drama. According to Hollywood Street King, they got wind of Jay-Z and Cathy's alleged affair from insiders close to Cathy's good friend Jason Lee. Jason Lee's name popping up again? Now this is getting juicy. If you remember just last year before Beyoncé's Renaissance movie premiere, Jason Lee was stirring up some serious drama. He claimed he had some major tea to spill on Queen Bey and even went as far as trying to blackmail her. Can you believe it? He basically said he'd spill all the secrets unless Beyoncé got Kelly Rowland to sit down for an interview with him.
In itself, I think Beyoncé could have gave me a, you know what I mean? Like there should be a little love there. Now,
Maybe she doesn't know.
Beyonce doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't think Beyonce, and they're not going to share that with her.
Yvette knows.
Things are really heating up now. So, with Jason Lee's name popping up in connection to Cathy White, fans are starting to wonder if he might know something about her death. Now, back to that Hollywood Street Kings post from August 2010. It dishes out some serious details. Apparently last September, which would have been September 2009, Cathy, aka Corey, and Claudia were spotted at the Las Vegas Town nightclub, chilling at a table with Jay-Z and Puffy. And get this, Beyonce was nowhere in sight. Sounds like quite the scene, especially since they were there to catch the Mayweather versus Marquez boxing match. But wait, there's more. Hollywood Street Kings dropped another bombshell post later that same day, claiming that once the news broke about Jay-Z's alleged mistress, Cathy immediately went into social media lockdown, deleting her Twitter and Facebook accounts. Plus, it seems like Claudia had her own drama going on, ending up in the hospital after a fall in the shower. Talk about a wild night in Vegas. Even though that photo got removed from the original post, it seems like Claudia was definitely making the rounds in Vegas back in 2009. She was there for the Miss USA pageant in April, and then there's this article from May 2009 by the Las Vegas Sun that spills the tea on Claudia, Jay-Z, and Diddy partying it up in Sin City with a bunch of other celebs.
I always thought 28 was a bit young to cut up a beauty pageant. It almost pushes the messaging that after 28, it's kind of like a done deal, it's over.
According to the article, Jay-Z and Kansas City Chiefs Larry Johnson were living it up at a VIP table next to the DJ booth. But unfortunately, Queen Bey was MIA. However, Claudia Jordan, the deal or no deal beauty, swung by their table to say hello. Talk about being in the right place at the right time, huh? Seems like Vegas was the spot to be for these celebs, and Claudia was right in the mix of it all. But with all this partying and mingling, who knows what other secrets were floating around those Vegas nights? All right, let's fast forward to September 2010. Hollywood Street King dropped yet another bombshell post about Cathy White, this time titled, "Jay's Mistress Cathy White Exposed." According to this post, just before Jay-Z and Cathy hit up the Sin City fight, Jay allegedly splurged on a $2,500 pair of Louis Vuitton shoes for Cathy to rock that evening. But here's where it gets interesting. Hollywood Street King claims that Jay requested Cathy to bring along a few friends to ride with them that night so they wouldn't look like a couple. Sounds like Jay was trying to keep things on the down low. And that's not all. Jay apparently took Cathy gambling at the Bellagio casino, and he was pretty insistent on Cathy's friends hovering around them while they were at the table, just to keep up appearances. Seems like Jay was going to great lengths to keep their outings under wraps. So if you're wondering where Queen Bey was in September 2009, turns out she was overseas on her I Am World Tour. Talk about timing. The Floyd Mayweather fight, where Jay-Z supposedly kicked it with Cathy in Vegas, happened on September 19th, 2009. And on that exact day, Beyonce was busy rocking the stage in Sydney, Australia. Now, after Hollywood Street King first spilled the tea about Jay-Z's alleged affair with Cathy, it didn't really make waves until the news broke about Claudia's passing in September 2011. But by then, Beyonce was already heavily pregnant with Blue Ivy. Remember her iconic pregnancy announcement at the VMAs on August 28, 2011? That news blew up the internet, stealing headlines for weeks. So back when a few outlets reported on Cathy White's death, it barely made a blip on most people's radars. But now, fast forward to the present day, and we've got a bombshell waiting to explode. There's this woman who's claiming she interviewed Cathy shortly before her untimely demise, and now she's out here publicly threatening to expose Jay-Z. Back in July 2017, journalist Liz Corkin tweeted, "When Kanye West says Jay-Z has is, I believe he's talking about the people who KA'd Cathy White." So, Corkin was talking about Kanye's infamous onstage rant against Beyonce and Jay-Z. You know, the one where he accused them of using blackmail to snag awards, and hinted that Jay-Z might try to silence him for speaking out.
Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them at my head. Just call me. Talk to me like a man.
So in March, Liz Corkin decided to revisit her tweet about Kanye and wrote, "Note the date. Hey Jay-Z, I was the reporter who talked to your alleged mistress right before she died, was MD. I know everything. I know what you did. Go F yourself. Your time is coming. Maybe you and Diddy can share a prison cell together. Justice is coming." While some folks are brushing off Liz as just another conspiracy theorist, others are raising some serious eyebrows. I mean, the fact that Diddy was allegedly chilling with Jay-Z and Cathy is already sending off some major alarm bells. But wait, there's more. Fans are pointing out that Diddy has been accused by multiple industry insiders like Jaguar Wright of some shady stuff, including allegations about his ex-girlfriend Kim Porter's death, which also happened under mysterious circumstances.
Do you believe Diddy has something to do with Kim Porter's death?
Absolutely. Without hesitation. Absolutely.
By the way, Jaguar also recently claimed that Jay-Z is even worse than Diddy.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient.
Seems like Jaguar's words are really resonating with folks. More and more people are starting to nod along in agreement, thinking maybe there's more to this story than meets the eye. One person on the internet wrote, "I found Cathy's obituary online. She's buried where my family stays at in Virginia. Bossip says she was a publicist and fitness expert. The fact that her presence can't be found anywhere on social media is telling. Someone wanted her erased from existence." Another one added, "I can't wait until Jay-Z gets exposed like Diddy. All these devils gotta go. Poor Cathy. So sorry that happened to you. Rip Cathy White and Kim Porter." One more person added, "The story about what allegedly happened to Cathy White at the hands of the Carters honestly doesn't sound too far-fetched. I heard of her a long time ago and been side-eyeing them ever since. I pray that justice is served for her. Rip Cathy White." However, some people also believe that Beyoncé may also have some grudges against Cathy. So Beyoncé's 6th album, Lemonade, and the film that goes along with it have been getting tons of love from everyone. It's all about Black womanhood, infidelity, and love. And Beyoncé's never been so upfront and gutsy about these themes before. Take the track Sorry, for example, where she straight up calls out her husband's side chick by name, saying he better call Becky with the good hair. You better call Becky with the good hair. That line got folks wondering if this Becky is even a real person, and it kicked off this huge hunt to find out who she might be. Some gossip blogs point fingers at fashion designer Rachel Roy, because she posted some COS stuff on Instagram that made it seem like she might have been fooling around with Jay-Z. But others think maybe it's Rita Ora, another artist signed with Roc Nation, or this lady, Cathy White.
Many people are speculating that Becky's actually fashion designer Rachel Roy, and that she was the cause of the infamous elevator fight between Jay and Beyonce's sister Solange.
Forget the hunt for Becky for a sec, because there's a bigger picture here that Beyonce's pointing at with that lyric. She's not just talking about some random chick, she's tapping into something deeper. See, for Black women, Becky with the good hair isn't just a name, it's a whole vibe. She's the standard of beauty that's pushed on us, making us feel like we're not enough. We see her as this epitome of perfection, and some of us even try to copy her style. Meanwhile, society holds her up as the ultimate prize, the one every guy wants on his arm.
I realized how every woman walked out looking and feeling beautiful. But most importantly, I saw the joy it brought my mother. Knowing that she was a part of their transformation.
So, who's Becky? She's more of an idea than a person, a symbol of this messed up beauty standard that's been shoved down our throats for way too long. According to Urban Dictionary, Becky is a name often linked with whiteness, usually given to white girls. It's often used in a derogatory way to generalize about white women. The name gained fame in Sir Mix-a-Lot's hip-hop classic Baby Got Back, where a white girl named Becky and her friend Ogle at a Black woman's curvy backside. In 2009, rapper Plies made Becky even more popular with his song Gimme That Becky, where he used the name as a code for OS. This stems from the stereotype that white women are skilled at giving head. This stereotype is based on the perception that white women have more S freedom and agency than Black women, thanks to their privilege.
Becky, please raise a hand, bro.
In contrast, Black women have often been stereotyped as uptight, frigid, and less inclined to engage in or enjoy giving OS to men. Unfortunately, there might be some truth to this stereotype. According to Madame Noir, historical factors have shaped notions of what's considered socially and acceptable for Black women. Going all the way back to slavery, Black women have had limited agency over their bodies, influencing societal views on their S.
Okay, this is not about you. You have to do this for them. You have to do this for history. And it's the only way I was able to get through that song.
Exactly. Beyoncé's use of Becky with the good hair isn't about implying that her husband's mistress is necessarily white. Instead, it's about describing someone with features that align more closely with Eurocentric beauty standards. Good hair typically refers to hair that's long, straight, or naturally curly, which is often associated with people of African descent who have looser curls or straight hair. In many societies, there's a prevailing belief that this type of hair is more attractive compared to kinky or tightly coiled hair, which is often referred to as nappy. This perpetuates a harmful hierarchy within the Black community, where those with looser curls or straight hair are seen as more beautiful, while those with kinkier hair are degraded. By using Becky with the good hair, Beyoncé is shining a light on two significant struggles faced by many Black women: feeling inferior because of their Blackness and dealing with the damaging effects of colorism, where lighter-skinned or mixed-race individuals are often privileged over those with darker skin tones. It's a powerful way of addressing these complex issues within the context of infidelity and relationships. Or was it pointed towards her beloved husband, who was rumored to be involved with many women, including Rihanna and Cathy White, despite being married to Bey? And they could have done anything to her. Like she was seen with Jay-Z and Diddy, this might prove that she was also the part of Diddy's freak off. And it all got revealed when a new video surfaced of him telling guests at one of his legendary white parties in the Hamptons that it was time for the kids to go home and the real partying to begin. In footage, Diddy stands, champagne glass in hand, like a dictator on his balcony as he calls in the quid pro quo for the hospitality so far extended.
We fed y'all, we gave y'all some drinks, now it's time to enjoy life. This is a celebration of life. This is a legendary white party. It's the real white party. Make some noise if you've been here before.
It's impossible to hear his words today without catching in them a sinister overture to the sort of debauchery which now sees the rapper charged with a slew of heinous crimes and held without bail on East Side Watch in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center. Diddy's name will be forever tarnished by the charges he now faces of SA and violence, kidnap, arson, and possession of firearms. And the revelations of S freak-offs, which allegedly lasted days and saw participants, often S workers, forced to rehydrate via an IV drip in their aftermath. But back in the day, before he stood accused of running a criminal enterprise and was deemed a threat to society and justice, celebrities clamored for an invite to Diddy's era-defining white parties held at his East Hampton home between 1998 and 2009.
Give a shout out. That's a Christian. Can we get a shout out? How you doing?
So, we here to try to raise money for these, mosquito.
Images obtained show the glittering guest list, a who's who of movie and music industry fame, all of whom have remained conspicuously silent since the music mogul's arrest in New York earlier this week. Among them is Jennifer Lopez, who famously dated Diddy between 1999 and 2001 and went to more than one of the parties that he instituted to cement his reputation as a latter-day Gatsby and industry mover and shaker. Poignantly, Diddy's ex, Kim Porter, mother of 3 of Diddy's children who died in 2018 aged 47, is also there. In some shots, she sits next to Diddy, smiling with their twins Delilah and Jesse James Combs on her lap. There is no hint in her demeanor and appearance of the violent abuse she allegedly suffered at Diddy's hands, which is exposed in a new memoir, In Kim's Words, which published alleged entries from journals Porter left behind. And though there is no suggestion that the celebrities who attended the parties were involved in any of Diddy's illegal activities, once the kids went home, things got wild. In pictures shot at Diddy's penultimate party in 2008, scantily clad half-naked girls cavort in the swimming pool. A tangle of limbs, they pour champagne into the open mouth of a male guest. Whatever it was, his past seems to be very troubled, and you never know whose face you're going to see behind the bars. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.